Hi everybody. Today I am here to talk about kids and house chores, बच्चे and घर के काम. तो पहली बात कि उन्हें काम करना क्यों ज़रूरी है या हमें उन्हें वो काम सिखाना क्यों ज़रूरी है. So the younger they are, the more things that they do, it tremendously helps in their gross and fine motor skills. फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल अगर एक 4 साल के बच्चे को हम मटर देंगे छीलने के लिए और वो उसको खोल के दाने निकाल पाएगा, तो वो बच्चे के फाइन मोटर स्किल्स, उंगलियों से काम करने की जो काबिलियत है, वो मटर छीलने से ज़्यादा बढ़ेगी बजाय पेंसिल से ABCD लिखने से. सिमिलरली अगर एक 8 साल का बच्चा टेबल सेट कर पा रहा है, सब्जी का बाउल उठा के रख पा रहा है या छोटी मोटी चीज़ें वो कर पा रहे हैं, फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल क्यूकम्बर, टमाटर वगैरह, तो वो जो कॉन्फिडेंस उनको वो काम खुद अकम्प्लिश करने से आता है, वो सेल्फ एस्टीम और या वो खुद पे भरोसा, वो उनको शायद एकेडमिक परफॉर्मेंस से इतना नहीं आएगा. हर चीज़ की अपनी एक जगह है लाइफ में, और जो स्किल्स वो अपने घर से सीखते हैं वो स्किल्स का मुकाबला सिर्फ एकेडमिक परफॉर्मेंस से नहीं हो सकता है. what they are going to learn at home during their growing up years is going to stay with them for their entire life when they become adults, when they become independent, when they have to take care of their own self. घर के काम, खुद के काम करना उनको उनकी पूरी लाइफ के लिए सेल्फ केयर सिखाता है. जब बच्चे खुद अपना सामान जगह पे रखना सीखते हैं तो वो ऑटोमेटिकली ऑर्गेनाइजेशन सीखते हैं. जब वो अपने सिबलिंग्स के साथ या पापा मम्मी या घर के और मेंबर्स के साथ कोई काम मिलके करते हैं तो वो ऑटोमेटिकली टीम वर्क सीखते हैं. जब वो आपके साथ लड़ते हैं कि मैं ये काम नहीं करूँगा या करूँगी, या मैं इतना ही करूँगा या करूँगी, या मुझे इसके बदले में क्या मिलेगा अगर मैं ये करूँगा या करूँगी, तो वो नेगोशिएशन सीख रहे हैं. So these are all life skills that they are developing at home with you, while they are also learning to use their hands. They are learning to use their own skills to accomplish things that mean something to either them or you or for all of you as a family. It's very important that वो जितने छोटे हैं हम उतनी जल्दी उनके साथ ये चीज़ें करना शुरू करें. So for example, for a age group of let's say 3 year onwards, हम उनको छोटी छोटी चीज़ें दे सकते हैं करने के लिए, कि अपने गंदे कपड़े उठा के लॉन्ड्री बैग में डालो धुलने के लिए, अपने शूज़ उठा के रैक में रखो, अपने टॉयज़ उठा के अपनी जगह पे रखो. 4 साल के बच्चे एज आई सेड अर्लियर मटर छील सकते हैं, भुट्टे के दाने निकाल सकते हैं, मेथी तोड़ सकते हैं, धनिया पत्ता तोड़ सकते हैं. They can do all these little things. अपनी प्लेट उठा के रख सकते हैं किचन में वापस, अपनी बॉटल किसी टैप टाइप की जगह से भर सकते हैं. And while we are teaching them to do this or encouraging them to do this, they are also attaining a lot of self-confidence. उनको अपनी ही काबिलियत पे हम भरोसा करना सिखा रहे हैं when we show that trust in them, कि हाँ आप ये कर लो और आप ये कर लोगे. That makes them believe कि वो कर सकते हैं. And as a parent, there isn't a bigger thing that we can give to them, our trust on us and their trust on their own self. So it's very important that it comes about in very very little things of the day. वो अपने बैग में अपने सामान रख सकते हैं before they go down to play, and then we also remind them to bring them back home, जो भी चीज़ें वो लेकर गए थे. When they are in the age group of let's say 6 to 9 years old, this is a very sharp learning curve in their life. They will pick up a lot of skills at home, they will pick up a lot of skills at school, they will also speed up in their reading, writing capabilities, maths, everything is going to happen in this very sharp curvaceous learning curve of 6 to 9. This is also the time when we can help them and support them at home by giving them more and more responsibility which they enjoy. अब enjoy में भी ये है कि हर चीज़ वो enjoy नहीं करेंगे. But then that's life, right? We are also teaching them to do things that are not enjoyable, that are not fun, that are boring, but they need to be done because it's a part of your responsibility. For kids from 9 years and above, they can take a more active participation in the kitchen. They can start cooking a bit. वो रोटियां बेल सकते हैं, वो मैगी बना सकते हैं. बहुत सारे बच्चे इस एज के खाना पसंद करते हैं मैगी, and they can successfully make it. They can make their own cheese sandwiches. They can handle eggs a bit. They can also then move on to other tasks at home. It could be making the bed. It could also be watering the plants, which even the younger ones can do. Kids from the age of 10 to 14, there is more evolved cooking that they can do in the kitchen depending on what their interests are. They could make some tea, they could make some more things for themselves. Pastas are easy. They could also fry simple things. They can make a fried egg, they can make some fried fish, and yes, they can do that at this age, whether you believe it or not. They can also start going out a bit depending on where you live, how safe it is, so on and so forth. Even if you can't send them on their own, when you go to the market, take them along with you. Maybe, just stand outside the shop and ask them to go inside and buy a couple of basic things on their own, talk to the shopkeeper, ask for what they want, so on and so forth. Taking them to supermarkets all the time or to malls all the time may not be the only empowering thing that you can do. Taking them to smaller shops where they have to interact with the shopkeeper, ask for the things that they need, and then even maybe try negotiating the price a bit. Yeah, they are much smarter than we think they are, and they can do it. And these are some things that will make them feel more comfortable with the outside world. It will make them more confident with strangers around them. It will make them more independent when it comes to dealing with adults, and it's important. For teenagers, I'm sure there's already so much that they would want to do on their own, except the house chores, obviously. But then it's a negotiation between you and the kids as to what all will they do on their own, some people might use pocket money as an incentive, some people might use some food or going out or movies or whatever as an incentive, whichever works for your family. But the fact remains that with their increasing age, increasing amount of responsibility of their own self or of whatever house chores they are able to do makes them feel included in the whole course of the things happening at home, makes them more self-reliant, and this is the base on which their adulthood is going to form. When they go out to study, when they go out to work, how they are able to look after themselves, the choices they make for what they eat, how they live, how they keep their routine, how they keep their surroundings. Everything depends on what we are doing with them right now at this age when they are living with us in the house. As far as our teenage kids are concerned, we might think that there's too much academic pressure on them, they have classes to go to, and amongst all this we would not want to burden them with house chores, or we would want to support them more and more by not delegating them anything apart from their school curriculums and routine and their classes and so on and so forth. But at that time, at that stage of life also, if there is something that they need to do regularly because it's just a part of their routine or this is what is required to be done at home, we are also giving them the foundation of dealing with stress in life and yet reverting back to their basic rhythm of life. And that helps us in dealing with stress quite a lot. When you have to, when you can't study anymore, when you can't think of anything else, and yet that you have to get up and maybe clean up your room, or fold your clothes or do whatever basic thing you have assigned to them, it kind of gives them that grip on life, of coming back to their routine, of coming back to their rhythm of life, irrespective of whatever has happened during their day. It also serves as a reminder to the body and the mind for emotional regulation. So as an adult, when they go out in the world, they face failures, they face stresses, they face so many other disappointments of life, and yet when they come back to their own space and they're able to pick up these things which they need to do in the house, it emotionally regulates us. As adults also, it emotionally regulates us when we cook, when we clean, when we do something else that's just necessary to be done. It moves us away from wherever we are spiraling, and it brings us back to our center. And this is something that we can start building up on in their teenage, and this is something I promise that will stay for them for the rest of their life. Irrespective of what age your child is, I would really request you to just look around you, give them whatever task that comes to you. There's also one disclaimer that yes, the younger they are, जो हम उन्हें काम देंगे वो काम होगा नहीं, वो काम बढ़ेगा. So choose a day and time when you have the patience to deal with that. Because ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए कि हमने उन्हें कुछ टास्क करने को दिया और फिर हम उन पर चिल्लाने लगे, उनको डांटने लगे कि तुमने कितना फैला दिया है, ये तो और गंदा हो गया है, अब हमारा काम कितना बढ़ गया. Because this will then make them have negative feelings for the task that we are assigning to them, and we don't want that to happen. We want them to have fun while they are doing it. The younger they are, they find everything enjoyable. So you might as well let them do it the way they are doing it. बाद में clean हो जाएगा. And after a certain point of time, you will notice that suddenly they are doing those things so well कि फिर उन्हें कुछ बोलना नहीं पड़ता, कुछ टोकना नहीं पड़ता, and it makes your life much easier. So initial years में थोड़ा सा patience रखना है, उनको वो करने देना है जो वो कर पा रहे हैं without criticizing them. In fact, ये क्रिटिसाइज ना करने वाला चीज हमको टिल दे आर ग्रोन अप रखना पड़ेगा when we have delegated them a task to do, because criticism is not what they are going to accept very kindly. It is going to make them averse to doing that task at all. So we will have to make maybe more lenient measures of whatever they are doing, kind of a thing. But हाँ, बिल्कुल ही shabby है तो they definitely deserve a reprimanding on that. But the more we can encourage them at younger age to do it, the more we can support them in their growing up years to do these various tasks of their own life, of the house around them. All this will make a very, very strong foundation for a healthy, happy adulthood. Thank you so much.